Hi, did my video play? I feel like I couldn't see if the intro video was playing, so I might have just been standing here looking stupid, but my mic went muted, so it seemed like it was playing. You guys let me know. Happy Thursday. How are you? Thanks for joining me here today. I listened to you guys. It seemed like you liked some of the lesson planning that we had from Tuesday. So I let Pinterest do what Pinterest does best, and that's lead me to new information. This one is more like it's not like pseudoscience, but it's kind of like I don't know how I feel about it. So it's more bringing the discussion to the table. Overall, just the topic of etiquette. But before we get into that, I found this and this is the vibe of today, just so we're all clear. No time for self doubt, time to fulfill the prophecy. Got it? Good. Another fun fact or warning, I should say, is things got spooky in this house at the hands of me because I spilled. I want to make sure I'm live right now because I feel like, am I live right now? You guys make some noise because the chat hasn't moved and that's rare. That's rare for us. Let me make sure. Oops. Make sure that the stream did okay. Okay, it should be okay. Um, okay, good. Hi, it's coming in now. I think it was just a little delayed. I last night I was gonna prepare this dinner and I chopped up all the onions for it, and then I was like, I don't want this, and just it didn't. I was like, I'm gonna make this tomorrow. So I put the chopped onions in the fridge. Then I opened the fridge today. Chopped onions spilled everywhere. Then I couldn't find our broom and pan because we had taken it downstairs because to like pick up all when H does Honey Bear's grooming, so all the hair was down there and it just like got disgusting. So I have a thing where I don't like using brooms in different rooms. That rhymes. So I vacuumed it. Okay, that's where I went really wrong. You do not vacuum porous, watery food items, period, with a vacuum. There's an exhaust, and now running through the whole house is onion debris. Harry and I's eyes are burning. It smells disgusting, and there's no escaping it. Because it's so hot, we have to run the air, so we can't open the window. So we're just sitting in onion right now. Just sitting in onion. Ugh. Okay. I want to get to some of your questions before we get into our etiquette discussion. William Smith, Steph study session. Let's fucking go. Seriously, this is great. Thank you. Classes in session. I heard you guys liked it, and I'm like, I also like it. You know, why can't we get smarter and hotter together as a group collectively? Learn stuff together. I love it. That's what we should be using our time for. Emmanuel, I feel like Steph is our new teacher. Yes, I am. Hi. You can call me Miss Dees. Classes in session. Dion Austin. Hey, Steph. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween Eve. I love Halloween. Very exciting stuff. Steph, if you and your sister have been wondering what Halloween movies to watch with your nephew, turn to Scooby Doo, especially the Halloween movies, Scooby Doo and the Goblin King. Yeah, for sure. That's a good suggestion. They're like kind of off him watching anything because he gets so zoned in that it's hard to pull him away from it. So I think they're trying to avoid the whole TV thing for as long as they possibly can. But if they've circled back into it, then for sure. I started Coco last night. Coco's like it's really up there as it's probably a top 5 Pixar for me. I love Coco so much. Okay, more Scooby-Doo, awesome. William says, I love it because it's like one day it can be a vlog, the next day it can be Steph telling us about something cool or listening. She can do whatever she wants. People don't realize this, but Steph does. I do realize this. Thank you. Yeah, I'm like, we gotta do whatever we want as a group, as a collective. Steph, do you and Harry know the history of Halloween? Even so, do you know the spooky story with the jack-o'-lantern, God's name? No, I don't. We could definitely look that up later in the show, though. Team Steez. Thank you, Lloyd. Rihanna. Hi. Hey, Rihanna. PTB Productions, have a great night. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Rihanna. I'm so glad you have this third live stream this week because we have some tea to get into. Oh my God. Okay, after we get into the etiquette, please drop the tea. So here for the live streams having to do like as an advice corner or just me listening to what you have to say. I'm obsessed with that. William Smith, happy Halloween Eve. Yes. Mel does reviews. Traveling today and my flight got canceled and had to rebook a new flight to ATL tonight. Ugh. I know the flight situations are so crazy right now. I hope that this next flight is totally good and you don't have anything else to worry about. The red glasses slap and BTW no notification again. I guess they don't send out notifications until you're monetized. Maybe not. Hold on. I have a sneeze coming in. This onion shit is no joke, guys. I can't be clear, not clear. Do not vacuum onions ever. My poor H over there is way more sensitive to smell and stuff than me. He's probably just dying. You okay? He gave me the thumbs up. Okay, let's get into this. So, etiquette is one of those things that I've always low key hated. I grew up and there was cotillion classes. If you guys don't know what that is, cotillion classes are basically etiquette classes. And I think a lot of schools have this as an option. They mostly want the boys to do it, but they do want the girls to attend too. But I know that they pressed it on the boys a lot more, at least at my school. It's basically where they were taught stuff like where like the fork, the spoon, and the knife go on a table. Also, like how to walk in with your date, or and then they taught like dancing, like typical ballroom dancing. Just like schmooty tootie type stuff. And oftentimes I feel like etiquette is used as a stupid means of class and to define who's rich and wealthy and who's not. But it actually, I feel like, is so wrongly equated with that you're a good person. And I, from a young age, was like, etiquette does not equal manners, and manners doesn't equal kindness most of the time. So I've always kind of had a problem with it where I'm like, yeah, a lot of this stuff is nice. And there's a lot of stuff I do in my day to day that, I hold the door open for people, especially if I see like a pregnant woman or someone with a kid in a stroller. I'll like go out of my way to help them. Elderly, I will do the same. If there's like I was just returning a package, there was like an elderly woman in front of me and I just like let her go in front of me because like she doesn't need to wait. She's done the time in this life, you know what I mean? She deserves queen energy. She should just go front of the line all the time. And or someone has like way less groceries than you let them go. That's just to me more kindness than etiquette. But I stumbled upon this Pinterest list of etiquette you should know, and I just thought that was like the funniest way of phrasing it. And some of them I was like, okay, cool. And some of them I was like, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are just asking us to do these stupid things, and it actually doesn't mean that you're a nicer or better person. It's just like weird ass rules. And some of them I'm like, you're going to look weird if you do it. So then I started looking up like etiquette. This had to be a beginning of time type thing because rich people and the upper class loves ways to separate themselves from people with less money and less social standing than them. So I'm like, this has to go way back. It does. It goes way, way back, like ancient civilization. It has origins in ancient Egypt and China, which I feel like are like the two culture warriors. Like back in the day, Egypt and China just like ruled all of it. And it's like, I know that they did that. I know that they did that. I just needed the confirmation, and there it was. And that's where it all began, where they have like these codes of social conduct and they use those codes as a means to govern behavior. And then it was like rituals and relationships, and obviously it's a major way to police women. especially back in the day, because it's like, "Oh, women can't talk first when a man is around," or "Women can't be convening together without a man around." Like, that stupid stuff where I'm like, "Ugh, ugh, you guys are holding us back." Then it moved through medieval and Renaissance Europe. The ideas became more formalized with the rise of noble courts, those things where they just decided which families were noble and which ones weren't, and then, like, your whole life was based on around this. And through that, that's when books started to emerge on guiding behavior and etiquette, and then it became more of a marker of social refinement and status. Like, the better your etiquette was, the more you're like, "Oh, he has money," because he had money to learn that etiquette. So, to me, that's also super fake. Like, you had to pay someone to tell you how to be, like, I don't know, a well-mannered human being. Is that really that cool? Like, why is that the flex they think it is? I just disagree with that. I always think that I would have just done so I would do I'm pretty confident in myself in multiple time spans. Like, if you drop me in different areas at different types, I might do okay. But really, it's really wasn't okay until, like, the '80s basically for women, but I think my least favorite would be medieval. Medieval, I just feel like everyone was like, they just treated the poor so, so bad, and when I don't know if I have the right depiction or am I if I'm letting movies kind of fuel my idea of what it looked like, but it just feels like people lived in and this is getting more and more like what it is today. People lived in castles. They had, like, these massive, massive dinner tables with, like, 18 types of animal meat on the table and all these fruits and vegetables, and, like, the high court sat with them, and then the rest of the majority, the millions and millions of people, just lived in, like, dirt with the rats, and then let the bubonic plague spread on them. And that I would hate that. I would hate that. And I'm, like, so upset anytime I see that in movies where I'm like, they didn't even have a chance. There was no chance for them to do anything. Like, if you have a certain last name, you were just that's what you were doing in life. Okay. So then from medieval and Renaissance Europe, it moved to Italian influence. And this was before the term etiquette was even coined because this was later. Italy was deeply involved with etiquette and they were some of the first to have authors writing books on the subject. So it became more of a defined thing as opposed to just kind of a topic that wasn't as tangible with books and teachers. Now, the French, we can blame the French for this. And I honestly, if you would have asked me, who do you think really, really did the whole etiquette thing? I probably would have guessed the French or the Brits. It makes sense because etiquette is a French word. It was from one of Louis's courts, and it was in the 17th century France to manage the behavior of nobles. He posted signs or etiquettes with rules such as where to sit or not to walk. And it's like, is that an etiquette or is that a rule just by the governing assholes? See, this is where my problem really, really starts to heat up. What do you mean where I can sit? Because that's not a manner that you just decided that because you don't want people who are poorer around you or, like, not in your main court. That to me, this is where it started really going downhill. And then there was the codification. So this reminds me of Professor Umbridge in Order of the Phoenix, where she starts putting up all the signs with all the rules. That Nothing pissed me off more. That's why Order of the Phoenix has so many good moments in that movie, but it pisses me off because I'm like, Professor Umbridge is so unbearable, and all of these etiquette rules can go to hell. And that's what started happening in France. So he would print out the rules, initially small cards, and it expanded to more rules about behavior, hygiene, and social interaction. The term etiquette eventually came to mean the entire code of good manners. So that's where, sorry, the cat keeps coming on. Um, oh boy, not right now, brother. That's where it really started to get cooking. Okay, am I back? It started to evolve in the 18th century adoption. So the upward mobile middle class adopted etiquette as a way to identify with the genteel upper class. So now it became a little bit more accessible in the 18th century because the middle class was starting to catch on what the upper class was doing and being able to adapt to it a little bit more. They're like, oh, they're doing this, we can do that. Okay, they're sitting here. I guess that's where we should stay if that's what we're doing. Then the 19th century came and etiquette manuals became widely popular in both Europe and the United States. And that's where it started becoming like in classes to the students, to everyone. And then this woman named Emily Post, I wasn't familiar with her game, but Emily Post came and she became like the expert in etiquette in 1922 in the United States. And I don't know if I like her because now it became like a formalized, this is the United States etiquette. And then now you have it through today where it's like evolved and there's a lot of things outdated. I think Gen Z is like the one that's going to probably change it all because they have like no care about respecting anything that they don't care about, and so it feels like they have no etiquette. Maybe millennials were, like, the last form of some etiquette. Okay, but this brings me to this list from Pinterest. I'm gonna put it up. So 21 etiquette rules you probably didn't know, but should. This is what started it all. And then we can go through it one by one because I, like, hate half of these. 1, you rise when someone enters the room. I kind of get this, but it also depends on what is happening. You know what I mean? Sorry, you guys can't see it that well, but it depends on who's coming into the room. If my grandma or one of my aunts or uncles is entering the room at a family function and I was seated, I'd probably get up to say hi. So I get that in that sense. But not in all settings do I feel like this would be. I feel like you might look really weird if you, like, got up when someone entered the room if it wasn't one of your elders. Or I guess if a family member is walking into a family event, this one's not that bad. I don't think this is that bad, especially if it's, like, a loved one, just, like, you should get up to greet them. I'm okay with this one. 2, you let others exit before you enter. Yep. That's I feel like people do know that one. Because if you're going on a elevator, people have to exit before you get on. So that feels like the general rule for everything. And then when, like, you're opening a door for someone, they're exiting and then you would enter, right? That one I'm like, "Okay, that feels obvious." 3, you say, "My pleasure," instead of "No problem." Okay, that just feels snooty. I think you can say whatever you want. Like, that some people can't pull off "My pleasure," and some people can't pull off "No problem." I think it depends who you are. Words to me is just getting too tactful. Like, just say what you wanna say. 4, you listen before you speak. This doesn't feel like etiquette, that feels like a normal human rule. You should listen to the person that you're speaking to, and then you add to the conversation, right? Like, am I missing something? This is why Pinterest is hysterical to me. Like, someone really thought they were eating with this. Okay. 5, you keep your phone off at the table. Off feels intense, but I agree with, an airplane mode moment might be really nice. I don't use the phone at the dinner table. I mean, like, I'm not saying I never do, but especially if we're at family dinners or sit down dinners, I don't think we're using the phone. Harry and I barely use the phone, but sometimes I remember even on our first date, he just with his job, he'll have clients call all the time, and he told me on the first day I might need to look at my phone if I'm working on a certain project. Like, is that gonna be a problem? But I really appreciated how he was super open about it and that he would just answer the call when I was there, so it wasn't like he was doing anything sketchy. I, like, fully saw what he was doing. Um, okay, this one's, like, really intense. You keep your shoes polished at all times. I don't have a shoe polisher. I've never gotten my shoes polished. Can't only leather shoes be polished too? That feels weird. You lower your voice in serious moments. That feels very controlling. I don't know, like, I don't think you should raise your voice. I'm not a fan of raising your voice or yelling. I really shut down when people yell. I do not like it. But I don't get the, like, you lower your voice. Well, I guess, like, if you're at a funeral, are they saying you're not, like, talking hella loud? I get that. I get that. You wait to be addressed in formal settings. I don't like that. That feels like I don't that feels way too controlling. Um, 9, you hold eye contact during handshakes. Yeah, because imagine if you're giving someone a handshake and you start looking off to the side, that'd be the weirdest, most uncomfortable thing. You ask about others before talking about yourself. Yeah, that to me is good etiquette. That's nice because you're genuinely caring about the other person and you realize that talking about yourself doesn't really matter. You should be in conversation to engage with the other person. That I fully prescribe to. I really like that. I would much rather hear about someone else than talk about myself to them. 11, you walk beside your guest, not ahead. Okay, that just seems obvious. Like, what are you, a weirdo? Walking in front of your guest? Unless you're on, like, a hike or a race or something, but yeah, you'd be side by side with your guest. Some of this stuff is weird. 12, you write handwritten thank you notes. Okay. I go back and forth with this one. I love a handwritten note, but I also wouldn't mind if someone typed me out a letter too. I get it. It's like, 'cause it is more painstaking to handwrite than to just type, so there's something, like, special about someone giving you their handwriting. But I don't think that I remember I went back and forth with my mom on the thank you notes for the wedding, because I was like, "Why can't I just type it out?" Like, everyone no one even because 'cause I've received so many thank you notes from weddings, and I don't care. Like, I think it's nice that they sent out something, but to be honest, I don't care. I don't care about receiving a thank you if I sent you a gift for your wedding. Like, you put on a fabulous wedding, you spent a lot of money to have me as your guest, and I gave you a gift because it's your wedding, like, I feel like that's capiche. I do not if you wanna send me a photo from your wedding and then also make it a thank you, it's like, that's cute. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't feel like it's necessary at all. That's one of those etiquette rules that I feel like a lot of people might disagree with me, but I just don't like, tell me the time you received a thank you letter and you were like, "Thank God they sent me this thank you letter to address thanking me for arriving at their wedding." Like, that doesn't I don't need it. I don't need a thank you letter like that, personally. How do you guys feel about that one? 13, you leave space in group conversations. Does that mean that you're just, like, not taking over talking? Of course. That goes back to which one? To number 10, you ask about others. Definitely in group conversations, you should be sharing the space. I agree with that one. 14, you wait until everyone is served. I think this means to eat. I'm with that unless the dish is specifically good as soon as you get it, and then I want the person to enjoy it how it's supposed to be eaten, and I don't care at all. I always wanna wait for someone, but I do really like there are specific dishes that should be eaten like scallops as soon as you get them, and I wouldn't be mad at someone for eating that at all. I'd be like, "Yeah, you should definitely go for that because it's not gonna be as good when it's not right off the stove." 15, you compliment character, not appearance. Yeah, that one's nice. I think it's nice to compliment appearance too if you like someone's outfit or like how they did their makeup or they just have a good haircut or they look nice. But I think it's nice. It's nicer. It lasts with you longer to get a great compliment about your personality or your character. I think you should have like both ready to go. Or if you've only complimented someone physically, you should be like, "Okay, what are some character traits I can compliment them?" That's a nice one. 16, you dress for the context, not for attention. I don't really like this one. Um, yeah, I agree you should dress for it's like at a funeral, you're not gonna wear a wedding dress. But I don't like the idea that you should, like, be totally demure in your clothing and never wish to stand out. Because it's, like, obviously there's certain events, like a funeral, but for the most part, it's like, I think you should wear whatever makes you comfortable, and if you feel like peacocking that day, then you should peacock that day. 17, you speak only when it adds value. Um I mean, that would be nice if we always knew what was gonna add value, but I feel like that's very hard to tell sometimes. And especially if you're just kikiing with your friends. I don't wanna think about, "Is this gonna add value to the conversation?" Like, that feels like jail to me. I think we should have a little more freedom with our friendships, but if you're, like, talking to a boss or something like that, yeah, then maybe you should double check, double think about what you're about to say and if it's good for the conversation. You don't wanna, like, over talk because 'cause you're nervous. 18, you gesture calmly without pointing. Okay, I'm into this. I have one friend who is, like, the least chalant person n nonchalant person of all time. Like, I'll, like, nudge her under the table if she's saying something. Like, let's say that, like, someone's boyfriend just cheated on them, and then, like, she doesn't know this, but then like, is about to bring up the boyfriend, and I nudge her to just be like, "No, remember he just cheated on her." She'll be like, "Why'd you just nudge me, Steph?" And I'm like, "Oh my god. Why are you doing that?" And, like, everyone will stop to look. So, yeah, gesturing calmly is probably I'm with that one too. Okay, 19, you use linen napkins, not paper ones. It depends on the place. Yeah, I think definitely at a restaurant. Remember that high tea restaurant? We went to that high tea restaurant, $50 each, and they gave cardboard utensils and paper napkins. And I remember just being that I was an etiquette snob because I was like, What are we paying for? This is the craziest thing ever. What do you mean a cardboard fork? Ma'am, uh-uh, never again." 20, you check your reflection in private. I don't care about this. I see girls reapplying their lipstick in public or their makeup, and I'm like, yeah, who cares? Is it nicer if you can go to the bathroom? But sometimes the bathroom, you don't want to be in the taking up one of the sink spaces because someone's going to come out and need to wash their hands, and that's of more importance than you fixing your makeup. So it's like you just can do it when I'm not too like I think do it where you want to do it on that one. It's nicer if you can do it in private, but hey, better if your only option is to check it now and you need to see if you have a booger in your nose or like cilantro in your teeth, then you have to just check it now on your phone. Okay, last one. 21. You remember names and use them. Yeah, that's nice. Remembering names is hard. I uh I try to say it twice, like in my head. Like they're like, "Oh, I'm Carol," and I'm like, "Carol, Carol, nice to meet you." Like, but then I feel like I forget. It's like always Okay, so those are some of theirs. What do you guys have ones that you love to do? Like social rules that you love to live by, or the ones that you like think are so stupid and you're like, I don't care about opening the door for people, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going back to the chat. Um, okay. Okay, now Rihanna, drop your tea if you haven't already, because I'm getting back into the chat. Um Emmanuel, happy Halloween, everybody. I don't celebrate, but that doesn't mean I won't wish other people not to have fun. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of holidays I don't celebrate, but I'm like, if you celebrate it, go off. Uh, Coheed, you need to get some baking soda to absorb the odor. Yeah, maybe I'll put out some baking soda after the stream, but even so, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I would need to like, I guess maybe I can drop baking soda on the ground, then vacuum that, and then that goes through the exhaust. But then I fear that it will re-spike up the onions again. What? What? Oh, Emmanuel, cool glasses stuff. Thank you. William Smith, I think Coco's the last good Disney movie, TBH. It's definitely up there, like, as the last like, new classic. Coco came out and I was like, "Oh, this is a classic." It was one of the last Pixar movies. I feel like I always used to look to Pixar movies to get me that cathartic cry. Oh my god. When Miguel starts singing Recuérdame with Abuela, I was like, "No, this is like the cutest, saddest thing I've ever seen in my life." With Coco. Oh my god. And it just had so many great twists and turns. I'm gonna finish it today. I love that movie. It's so good. Yeah, I really want Pixar to make I love Pixar. Pixar is some of my favorite movies ever. I want them to make a return to Top Dog. There's a hair on my mouth. No, I didn't get it. Oh, I got it. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh crap, I gotta go. Damn, I'm really sorry. I'll catch up late. No worries, William. Have a good night. Tom Hanks 4585. Awesome glasses. Thank you. Emmanuel, it's interesting you say this stuff. Years back, I read a book called Who Controls America by Mark Mullen, and he made an argument that education started from a desire to civilize non white kids. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, it's like the whole sociological idea of what is considered civilized and what is not is definitely a colonizer mindset. I think that is like they saw a different culture and they were like, we must change that and bring Christianity to that continent. And that's weird because I feel like it's just different. Like cultures are just different. One's not more civilized than the other. I guess like refined, maybe. I don't know, but bizarre. And so much of it's just made up. Like you guys just made up what the rules were. Coheed 2099. There's so many systems that keep the poor poor and the rich rich. It's discouraging. It definitely is. But I am hopeful that there's more people understanding that the there's more of us than them. And I feel like if we keep fighting the systems, then hopefully we can kind of topple that ideology that oftentimes keeps people in their place in a way that feels stifling, especially when they've been sold the idea of an American dream and upward mobility. So I have to stay hopeful. Red carpet. Oops, sorry I'm late. No worries, girl. Thanks for being here. I like any excuse to make the day less boring. So I like holidays for Hi, sorry. It kind of means for the next 2 years that we're gonna have Halloween on a non-weekday, which is nice. Red carpet talk. Coco is a damn good movie. Top 5 animated for fave Pixar. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Such a good story. Such good songs too. Dion, I had missed this Tuesday. Well, welcome. Red carpet. I'm autistic, therefore I don't have etiquette. Okay, totally a great point. Like autistic people oftentimes don't have like the so social etiquette and the rules of talking to people, and that's why I love them and find the community so it's like such a breath of fresh air because it's like, damn, they're just saying the truth and what's on their mind regardless of what they think society wants of them, and that's so much there's so much more truth in that and less bullshit. I'm obsessed with it. It's a really good point of kind of breaking down what I love about the autistic community so much. It's like because they don't care or prescribe to made up rules. They just are living La Vida Loca. Rihanna, sometimes worn and dirty shoes are a look though. It depends on what kind of shoe, but I think with like a leather boot or like a cowboy boot for sure. But I don't like white sneakers that are worn in because it's like, oh, okay, you're still in high school type look. You got to keep those cleaner. Joseph Ashley, love the red glasses. Thank you. Mural, Jack, hi, sweet stuff. Hey, the fact that people make up these rules shows how shallow they are. Totally. It's like so, like, how bored are you with your life? Dion, Coco is a beautiful movie. It's so good. I love Coco. I can't wait to finish it tonight. Rihanna, I just got flashbacks to Annie, Gemma, and Severance having to write a million thank you notes to the point of bleeding and hand cramps. Justice for Gemma. Gemma got so Gemma, it's crazy because you see all the characters and you're like, wow, everyone's so screwed. Like they're like everyone's just screwed over. And then Gemma's like, hold my beer. I'm in such worse condition than the rest of you. You have no idea what's going on with me. And then even to the finale, it's like Gemma just continues to get absolutely screwed over. She had some of the most heartbreaking episodes of last season. I like really felt for her like in a visceral way. I was like, "Oh my god, if we don't get some damn justice for Gemma next season." Because how long can a character suffer? Like her suffering was so brutal. It was crazy. Mel, if I don't get a +1, I don't go to your wedding. Okay, so that's one of your rules. That's interesting. I think it just depends. It's hard because I kind of probably used to think that, but then when you're planning a wedding and then everyone kind of ends up, depending what kind of wedding you are having, by the time you divide up food and venue, each person is like $500. So you're kind of thinking, and if you're not actually dating someone, and my rule was like dating someone for more than a year. Because if you're not actually with someone who could be long term with you, then truly, what's the point of you being at the most important day of my life? And I get it. Like, it's more fun for you as a guest. But if you, especially if that you, like, let's say you have friends at the wedding too, then I definitely am like, you can handle not being with a date. Your friends are here. I think and there's a rare exception where you invite someone who doesn't know anyone else at the wedding and hasn't been dating someone, then maybe you're like, you can bring a +1. But I didn't have that scenario. Everyone I knew who wasn't in a relationship and I didn't give a +1, they were friends with their entire table, like long-term friends. So why would I give them a +1 and spend $500 on a random that I don't know and I would have been meeting the night of my wedding? That feels kind of tacky to me. But we all have different rules. I get it. Like if you just don't go, then you don't go and then that's cool too. Things like baseball, I rather see the highlights. That's hysterical. I like weddings. I like the speeches. That's my favorite. The speeches are my favorite at a wedding, and the vows and the bride walking down the aisle. And then the dancing is fun depending on what the wedding is. But I like weddings. It's kind of beautiful to see people like, really love each other and want to take a next step with them. And that's the step that they see fitting for their lives. Red carpet. I don't mind attending a party alone. Yeah, I definitely don't either. I never have problems just either finding out the friend that I know there or, like, finding the people that will be awkward or just bopping around. Tim Bino, I love an Irish exit when it's a big social event. Totally. You don't need to say goodbye to everyone at a huge social event. Red carpet talk. I never get invited to weddings. The last time was like 2010. Honestly, I don't get invited to a ton either. My circle, I used to be the kid that had so many friends. Like my parents talked about how many friends I had. Like, they kind of were critical about it because we're a super intense family, like, my parents prioritize family over everything. My mom sees her sisters once a week, I think, and her parents once a week, and then I always grew up seeing my aunts and uncles at least once a month, so they were always, like, friends come and go, families forever. That's the type of family I have. They have all my parents have, like a handful of great good friends, like lifetime friends, so it's not like don't have friends, but I had like an obscene amount of friends. And then I always thought I was gonna be that type that like I would go to like 100 weddings. And then something happened around like 24. I started dwindling and dwindling on my friends. And then just like really and then like by like 27, I started super locking in on a very tight knit group. And then even more so now like, after 30, it's like I'm I don't like, I dwindled my group down even less, where I still keep in good it's not like I have blowouts with anyone. I never had like I've had very rare occasions where a friendship ends. I've had rather so just, like, evolving relationships that just aren't as close anymore, and I so that's happened a lot, where I'm just not as close with a lot of people, and I just have a very tight-knit, like, count with one hand almost of friends that I talk to weekly and, like, keep up with most of their life, and then that's kind of it, and then it's just, like, kind of family for me, and then you guys, which is, like, I talk to you guys more than some of my old, like, friends of the past, because just, like, prioritizing different stages of your life, but, yeah, because of that, I haven't been invited to a ton of weddings because people are getting married later now, so by the time 25 hit, I'd cut off half of my friends or, like, just, like, not as close, and then by the time now, it's even less, so, and people really should only invite their closest friends to their wedding. I'm a firm believer in that because it's so expensive, and, you just don't need anyone at your wedding, like, your most important day, other than the closest people in your life possible, so I don't take it personal. Dion, Steph, I don't know if you and Harry watched the original Universal monster movies, Dracula, The Wolfman, Frankenstein, The Mummy, and whatnot. I watched The Mummy, and I don't think I've watched anything else. What's up, Joyous Roamer? But check out Abby and Casella meet Frankie. Very hilarious comedy. As catching up. I've reapplied lipstick on dates, LOL. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like after you eat, like right now, I should reapply my lip liner because it's kind of messed up from drinking and talking so much. And I should reapply it. Maybe next time I'll walk the walk and put my lip liner on my desk so I can reapply it while I'm on air with you guys. Because it's like, wow, now I'm gonna finish the show with my lip liner kind of messed up. But I totally feel you, Mel. Like fix your lipstick when you want to. Great song. Great song. A trans anthem, totally. ZB, hey y'all, hey ZB. Okay, Rihanna has the tea for us. I'm ready. I'm sat. Remember the Coach bag I lost out on the thrift store? Well, I was crashing out about it and wrote a crazy ass email to the chief of marketing of Coach explaining the situation. And she had one of her associates email me back to say that they'd like to make it up to me by sending me a little gift. Probably not a bag, but I'm still so happy and I'll keep you updated with what the gift is. That is amazing. I would have never thought about reaching out to Coach because you were at a thrift store, so what does that have to do with Coach? But that's so funny and ingenious of you to do that. I hope they do give you a bag. It's like, to me, I'm like, you're a massive corporation that makes so much money, you can afford giving a bag away. Like, the idea that Apple stopped giving charging ports when they with the new phones, it's like, I just spent $1,000 on your new phone and you can't give me a new charging port. And it's not because you care about the environment, 'cause you don't. You don't. I feel like you should get a place on it where you can request if you need one or not. That would be caring about the environment, because 'cause you'd be like, "Okay, if some people might keep their charging ports." But me, it's like I always would lose my charging port, so I'm like, "Yeah, give me another charging port. I'm paying you $1,000, and if you change the charger, like when you guys went to the USB-C and you don't give me a charging port, like, don't say that's about the environment, you're just being cheap, and you're a trillion-dollar company, like, please." But that's great of Coach, that makes me like Coach more. Steve, hey, Steph, happy Halloween Eve. Hey, Steve, thank you. Red carpet talk. I'm a social rule breaker due to autism. A big one that comes to mind is eye contact. People assume you're suspicious or not normal or not nice if you don't do it. Yeah, I feel like more people are getting to understand autism, and like sometimes when someone doesn't keep eye contact with me, I don't I like, you can kind of tell if it's not personal and it's more of like they're, not very comfortable with keeping full eye contact. But that's one where you just like, that's who you are, so who cares what they think about you. I don't make direct eye contact, feels weird. When you handshake someone, you don't make direct eye contact. That's what it was about, when you handshake someone. But when I'm talking with someone, I try to keep direct eye contact, but sometimes it's weird. Like, I don't think you should, like, force it every time. Like, your eyes wander naturally here and there, but I try to keep it as much as I can, but definitely there are moments where it feels awkward for sure. That was Rihanna. That was just a little update. The tea is we need to talk about Huda being caught and 4K being racist like we all knew she was. Oh, yeah, that was it's like, to me, that's, like, not even as bad as all the stuff she did, but I knew it was a matter of time before she played herself out, uh, because it's just, like, the way that she acted on the show was, to me, so, so insane uncomfortable. I, like, couldn't believe what the position she put her black castmates in, and I and I'm a Middle Eastern woman. So, this is coming from someone who initially wanted to love this person just because it's so nice to see a Middle Eastern baddie on screen. But the position she put her black castmates in made me so, so upset, like, to the point where it was a huge reason I never wanna watch the show again, because I thought the show handled it so poorly too, and let Alandria and Shelly and even put Jeremiah in these unsafe positions, and, Chris, and they didn't have their backs at all, and then let Alandria and Shelly take the fall of being bullies when they knew what was happening all season. Like, yikes. So I just was like, when I saw her getting all this popularity and all this attention, I just was like, I just kind of tuned out, because I'm never gonna like, I mean, like, I don't care enough to, like, keep checking in on her. Like, after the show ended, I was like, "I never have to see this person again. It's fine that she's not my cup of tea." Also, this is a heightened show, who knows what she's actually like. I just didn't like what I saw at all. And then to see, like, that Alandria had asked her to support her when people were doing, like, those horrific George Floyd videos with her, and she didn't say anything. I was just like, "This is not the type of person, like, I care to know anything about." Like, this is I really, really she makes yeah, so I just, like, was like, "Whatever," but I'm not, like, the type of person to, like, obsess over someone I don't like, so it's kind of like, "Whatever, I don't forget about her." And then this came up yesterday, and I was like, because I said to myself, it's like sometimes it's like you want to make the right people famous. and I just saw, like, Billie Eilish going after, like, the billionaires in the room during one of her speeches, and people were like, "We made the right person famous. Billie's so awesome." And then I see that and you think like, "Man, I don't think we made the right person famous." Like, the fact that she came out the most famous, I was like, "Damn, yikes." But then I always think time has a way of playing itself out, and that was only a matter of time because I do feel like it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just one thing in the villa. It was like 20. And so to me, that's kind of a character reflection that can't really be hidden. It was going to come out eventually. So, yeah, and then Alandria, as always, that's someone I very much root for her success. She came out with like an extremely classy comment about it, and I'm just like, I love Alandria, face card, body card, never is getting declined, and I think that she's a class act, but yeah, yikes. Definitely not my fave. Turning Red was a decent movie. Yeah, it was cute. It was. I did like, but it wasn't like the same effects like Pixar had on me, and I thought it might because I was like, oh, cool, an Asian movie, an Asian Pixar story, like, this is amazing, but for some reason, Coco had, like, such a massive effect on me. Red Carpet, I still need to see the Huda video. I saw TMZ and was like, "Oof, yeah, yeah." Yeah, me too. I really wasn't expecting results, especially since okay, that's about that thing. Richard Fearing, "Hi, Steph, hope you had a great day." Thank you, you too. Red Carpet Talk. I was at a comedy show hosted by Love Island narrator yesterday, and the opener who co-writes jokes with him asked the room who likes Huda. Nobody answered. Damn. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't want her to get bullied, but um I would be afraid to be in a room with her because I feel like she puts people in very compromising positions. So I kind of understand. Um Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that was one, like, I also, like, didn't really wanna talk about because I was like it's kind of how I feel about talking about, like, young women of color in general, where I'm like, there's already so much heat on them, like, I just don't, like, feel like adding to that narrative, but so I don't even think I talked about that for a while, but and it's not that I wish her any harm. I just, like, thought that she put people in very, very dangerous positions, and it kind of worried me about her, like, if there wasn't a camera on her and she did that, and then she could just, like, really put people in very dangerous positions by the way that she uses her emotions, and that freaked me out. Also, did you get around to finishing Hallie's album? I listened to a lot of it on a car ride and part of it in the gym, and it's very beautiful. I really like it so far. Um, Dion Austin, an oldie for me is No Elbows on the Table. Interesting. I don't care about that one at all, but that one irks a lot of people. So I think you're in the majority. Mel, yeah, but you're not alone and don't really know other people. It's brutal. You're married now and won't have to go to these things alone. But you're alone yeah, I mean, I said that if you don't know anyone at the wedding, that's an exception I think I'd be willing to hear out. And I would have thought about that if I was inviting them. I didn't invite anyone who didn't know someone at the wedding. So that's what I'm saying. So in order for me to let them have a plus one, they have to be like basically living with the person because they know so many people. Like everyone knew everyone. That's just how my wedding invite list ended up being. Red carpet talk. I'm honestly confused. So people are calling Huda racist for laughing in confusion to what was going on. She has an ice pack on her face. She seemed checked out. Um, yeah, I don't really know. I don't really pay much attention to it. It just seemed like I didn't see it. It seemed like everybody was talking about it. Like I said, I don't pay attention to her stuff because I don't like paying attention to stuff of people that I don't really love because then it feels like I'm falling into like I just don't need to be I don't need to like everyone and everyone doesn't need to like me, so I kind of just don't. But I just saw Alandria's post and I knew something had gone on, and I think a few of the castmates unfollowed, and it was like this thing, so I don't know really. Mel does reviews. Nah, if I don't know other people like that and don't have a +1, that's brutal. I'm not going. I have free will. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I said that. I think if you decide that you don't wanna go because that's how it is, like, I think that's totally makes sense. Sam. Rihanna, I think Huda knew exactly what was said, and that's what caused the laughter. Otherwise, I don't think she would have laughed and then abruptly ended the live right after. Huh. Right, Carver Duck, but didn't her BF, also laugh and he's black? I think he wanted to laugh at a black woman. Um, yeah, I don't really know what happened there. ZB is 73. I used to get called out for not announcing my departure loudly enough. People started calling it pulling his act. That's hysterical. You're famous around town. Okay, Emmanuel. The last wedding I went to was 2 years ago. It was great to see my best friend from my first college get married. In Colorado, I was one of his groomsmen, but came alone after a breakup. Ah, brutal. Brutal, like, if you break up right before a wedding, but it's kind of nice if you went to one of your best friend's wedding without the person that wasn't gonna be in your life. Because it's like, I don't know, I always think about that, like, I never wanted to bring someone to a wedding that wasn't gonna be in my life because it's, like, a very important day for someone very important to me. So but it's brutal to go alone, I get that. I hope I find someone. You will. I think definitely if you have the will and desire. Hold on, I'm getting water. To find someone, then you will. It's just a matter of time. Mel, my babe weddings are Zoom weddings. That's funny. That's a fucking funny take. Joseph Ashley, I'm very antisocial, and most of the stuff in my head is it better to find folks who share similar interests, like art, since I'm an artist. Everything else outside is nerve wracking. I get that. The older I get, the more social anxiety I get. I think that's totally normal. And but I agree, like finding people with similar interests is definitely better for longer conversation because then you're getting outside of the like, what do you do for a living? Like type surface level talk that kind of gets unbearable quickly. Right, carpet talk. Okay, I think I'm kind of done with the internet. IDK how Huda and Russell's reactions to a heckler's racism or Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad, but here we are with the constant hysteria nowadays. I think people are just like don't like Huda and they were kind of just looking for an excuse to like really call it quits. And I think it more so is kind of maybe the cherry on top of her all of her other behavior that pointed to the direction that she doesn't have. I don't know if it's racism or if she doesn't have like the concern of black women. And she just has a bad track record with black people, whether or not that actually means something, or maybe is kind of how she is to like everyone. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really pay attention to her. I think, but to your point, like, I don't think it was just that. I think it's more of like the greater conversation of like so many of these things. And now it's like adding up to this. But I hear you on the sense that like sometimes I'm like so over the internet because I don't understand like the general consensus on things, but cares? Like everyone's just gonna have different opinions on everything, and at the end of the day, it's really about who people like or don't like. And yeah, I think Sydney Sweeney's Jean ad was more just like very uncomfortable and weird. Like I think she's like such a great actress, and I didn't understand the voiceover choice. So it was more like a creative choice, and I was like, huh, because I don't think it was that deep for her, but I do think for the company, it was a horrible oversight. Mike Joyce, weddings are definitely expensive. My brother has spent a fortune on his so far. Yeah, it's so expensive. If my parents didn't help because they wanted me to have the wedding, I wouldn't have done a big wedding. I definitely would have just done like a courthouse or like gone on a trip with just my parents and his parents. I wasn't like super into having a massive wedding, but since my parents wanted it and they helped a lot, it made it possible. Or else it's like not worth it. IDK if I'm ever gonna be a bridesmaid at this rate, TBH. You might, like, it just depends who your friends are and if they're interested in getting married. I haven't been to bridesmaids much. The only brides I was invited to one that I couldn't go to in England, and then the only other one that I, was my cousins, I think, and my sister. So I really it's not like I don't have, like, friends who have made me bridesmaids. Zoom weddings are a thing, yeah, they were born during the pandemic, and they become kind of more of a thing since. Um, let's see. Emmanuel, not gonna lie, I think I do have autism, but over time I've gotten better at social conventions, etc. Yeah, I think that's like what the cool part of understanding if you have a diagnosis is that like once you're like, oh, that's why I naturally do that, then you can be like, okay, so that's how I can unlearn a habit and like relearn something else. And that's the cool part of like knowing yourself. So that makes sense. Like, I definitely have had bad habits or, like, habits that I just do naturally just because of the way I am, and then I identified it and was able to kind of course correct in some way if it made me comfortable. It does have a history of many microaggressions against the Black people, so I don't think people are as mad at the isolated. Yeah, I'm with this completely. I think that's what happened because I didn't hear it, and I was like, "Huh, that's definitely not like, it's not like she said it, you know what I mean? She kind of just laughed, and I think, like, sometimes you can be caught off guard on something and not have the best reaction. So, like, I don't think that that's super incriminating. I don't think it's the best look, but I don't think it's incriminating. So, I do think it's more of a response to kind of, like, the overall vibe. Um, damn, am I gonna have to get off the Huda train? I mean, I would do whatever you want. That's just how I felt watching it. I just felt very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Um, I think Huda is messy but not necessarily the worst person to ever exist. Of course not. Of course not. I don't think anyone's saying that. I think that she just like very brutally uses like this victim card against people and then puts them in very compromising positions, and it just feels like extreme manipulation, but I don't think anyone's like she's evil. I think people are just like I just don't like the way she moves. So I think that's what it's more of. It's the latest example of a true reality TV character. Totally. Totally. Curtis made it just hopping over from Roku's home like, oh, I didn't know we went live at this time. I probably shouldn't go live always at the same time, but this is rare for me. But hey Curtis, thanks for making it. William Smith, I'm back. I wonder if I'm wrong about this, but Halloween is a vibe a bit off this year. I know it's different for everyone, but I miss like pre 2016 Halloween vibe so much. Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if it's that we were younger then. You know what I mean? I do feel you, but I think it's because I'm older now. So but I don't know. Maybe it is. Like for the younger people here, is there a vibe that's different? Rihanna, I always skip Glorilla's verse on the song she did with Hallie. It wasn't it. Some I love Glorilla. I don't know if I've heard that song, but sometimes rappers and R&B artists collab and their styles don't mesh. Sometimes they collab is the best thing ever. We've seen some of the birth of like the best R&B rapper mixes, but sometimes it's like a like I remember Selena Gomez did a song with Glorilla, and I was like, these two sub verses don't go together at all, and I love them both separately. And if you would have told me Glorilla's doing a collab with Selena, I would have been like, yes. But then I heard it and I was like, damn, these are like completely different universes. Everything is always slightly off post pandemic now, but it's still better than last year. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. Mike Joyce, on a lighter note, what's your favorite Halloween coded song? Oh, I like the song that's like, oh, I'm gonna butcher it. I just heard it. Um, something of the witch, like, right? Of the witch. Hold on. Of the witch song. Season of the Witch. Season of the Witch. That song is so fucking groovy. I love that song. Let's see, Halloween songs. Um, I Put a Spell on You is always a classic. The Ghostbusters theme song is sick. Thriller, great coded one for sure. Yeah. Also, just found out that Glorilla's a weirdo to Meg. She's been shady to her on socials for no reason and now is copying her style. Like piece for piece, people have done side by side. It's weird. Wait, I haven't heard this, and you know me and the rap girlies are like this. That's weird. I don't know why, because they have the one track together that did really well and they had the whole music video and everything. Is it like because they're both dating basketball bays? Like, what's the tea there? I have to up my research. I haven't seen this at all. That makes me sad. I don't like that. I like when the rap girlies are friends. Oh my god, Mel, yes. Halloween coded song, Mike. The Twilight soundtrack, yes. Ho, 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 ho. Yes, 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 Mel. Exactly. The whole soundtrack. I'm working on a picture of you. It's like you in meditation. Is it better sent by email or something else? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Um, yeah. Okay, sorry. Man, okay. Yeah, email me or DM me, Joseph Ashley. Either way, I would get it. Um, Dion, awesome. Watching The Witcher season 4, loving it already. I have to finish season 3. I love The Witcher. I think I got like so upset at the news that I didn't finish season 3. Eye contact is weird, but not gonna lie, I'm the type of guy that will stare back if I feel like someone is trying to intimidate me. Totally. I know what you mean. Where I'm like, girl, are you staring at me? I'm gonna stare at you. Weirdo. I hear you. I think it takes an amount of luck to find someone. Yeah, I think it's timing. I think it's timing. But I also see so many times in LA, like proximity and kind of the area you're in is pretty definitive of what's going to happen too. Like, I have so many single friends in LA that I'm just like, or like people I see with people that I'm like, ugh, I don't know about that relationship. And I just think it's like your city has a certain personality and a certain type of person, and that can make it very hard to date sometimes too. Or if like you don't have a ton of people around your age. Emmanuel, oh Steph, the breakup was almost a year before, but of course it still stung at the time. Yeah, sometimes it takes a full year, sometimes more to like really get over something. Richard Fearing, hope your channel continues to grow and becomes great, and so happy for Roxy with her upcoming movie she did with Kate Beckinsale. Gonna be looking forward to see it when it drops. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know I'm so excited to see that movie. I love Kate Beckinsale. I loved her entire Roxy's journey when she went to England and like lived the best life ever over there and filmed this movie. I've been excited to see it since she filmed it, so I'm so happy it finally has a release date. We'll definitely be seeing it as soon as it's available for purchase. Mel does reviews. You can do all the things right and remain single. So luck it is. Yeah, totally. You can. Like I've seen people who are like, because I always say you want to be like your fullest self before you find someone, because you don't want someone to fill the spaces of you, and then you're not really authentically you. You want to come as a whole self and kind of like merge lives together with the person who's the one. And sometimes people are like we're just talking about Roxy, where I'm like, Roxy's like so knows who she is. like, knows what she wants, and it's just, like, bad luck in this city, and but then there's a part of me that thinks, like, timing, and like, I don't know, sometimes it's, like, messed up shit happens, and you're like, "Why am I single? I don't get it, I'm doing everything right." And then I feel like it's one of those things that when you do find your person, it'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get that." Like, maybe I needed this in career, or maybe I needed to be in this part of town or whatever it may be, like, I don't know, but I do think sometimes I don't wanna say, like, timing's everything, but sometimes I think, like, there is a divine timing thing to things. By the way, I definitely have high hopes for the future. I feel like we'll all look back at 2016 to 2028. It's a dark age we had to get through. Right. Yeah. Hallie said she had Mariah the Scientist on her album because they relate on having relationships in the public eye. She failed to mention that they were both ill-advised relationships with loser men. Yeah. Yeah, I want Mariah the Scientist to break up with Young Thug so bad. So bad. And Hallie would like, DDG should have never even had Hallie's phone number. Like, Hallie is in a completely different league. When I see clips of his stream, I just think it's so funny because 'cause I'm live streaming right now, but some of those Twitch streamers are so the things that they do are so crazy to me, and I just feel like Hallie's this classy queen. It just feels like they're 2 different people, but Mariah the Scientist is one of the best new R&B artists out, and I just feel like Young Thug is completely pulling her down and not treating her well, too. Like, that's the worst part, like, just not treating her well. So, I don't know. Um, I'm glad she sees the light now, though, because Hallie's one of my faves, and I couldn't defend her relationship. Yeah, me too. I'm really glad she's out of that. I am really glad she's out of that. Steph, as just being casual goes, you look good doing it. Thank you. Steph, you can hear you should check out the Monster Squad and Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Thank you. Good suggestion. What is the Halloween costume you always wanted to wear? I always wanted to be Michael Jackson Scarecrow from The Wiz. That's a good one. The one that I always wanted to wear. Okay, I would love to do like a badass Poison Ivy with like a full on wig install and a like sick ass outfit. Like very, very well put together. And maybe, and I haven't seen this movie, I've just seen this look and I love it. Maybe the Uma Thurman version of Poison Ivy. I love that look. It's kind of like campy and sexy. But yeah, Poison Ivy's definitely up there. I know it's been done a ton, but I just love Poison Ivy. And I think Starfire is pretty cool too. Maybe some of the X-Men characters, like doing Rogue would be sick. Yeah, when I have more money and I could just do like full on wig installs. Yes, yes, I'm in there. I'm in there. Steph, half the people in this country, mainly some white people, forget they are descendants of immigrants. I mean, it's crazy, y'all. Like, America is a country of immigrants. We were called the melting pot. That's what we learned growing up in school. And I always thought it was so cool that we bragged about that and that we were like the country just, having all these cultures and the reason why everyone wanted to come and visit us. And we were like combining cultures and learning from one another. And we made it so sick. And it's like, come to find out, like, millions of people have hated that or, like, they've been convinced through bad propaganda, evil propaganda that they've hated that, and that's to blame for their poor economic status, but really it's the top 1% that's been just, like, reaming them in the a-hole. That's a bummer, 'cause I just love different cultures. I love different cultures. I love, like, all the colors of the rainbow. Like, I just can't get enough of learning about different people and, like, also the idea that different people from different countries could have a better opportunity and for us to no longer be the land of opportunity. That is the American dream I always loved as an American. So it makes me sad that so many people have been convinced not to love that. And I'm like, bummer, dudes, that like you're spending your whole life blaming the wrong people. I would be okay, that cut off. So, anyways, um, Joseph Ashley. I always think of Thriller during Halloween. Yeah, yeah, it's a classic for sure. Is there a Hoa Hoa song? I should have suggested that. Yes, there is. It's Eyes on Fire, right? Is that what it's called? You know me and song names, I'm so bad. Um, Twilight soundtrack. It's Hoa. What's the Eyes on Fire? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it is. Okay, cool. I was right. Abdil coming in late, but I'm here. What's up, Steph and everyone? Hey, welcome. I'm gonna get out of here soon, but thanks for being here. Next week being the first week of November is a good week to get out of the Halloween spirit mood. Finish whatever movies you didn't get to watch for Halloween. Yeah, I think there's definitely room for a runoff for sure. Sorry if I missed this, but did you decorate your house this year? That's my favorite part. Fog machines, all that stuff. No, I'm doing this. We're remodeling, so I can't do anything fun really. We saw this massive Christmas tree, but they already have Christmas decorations out, which is insane. But they have this massive Chewy like okay, sorry. Ugh, so frustrating. Anyways, and we were thinking about getting the Chewy as our Christmas tree because I'm like, why can't we just hang ornaments on Chewy? Like, there's so many different ways to do things. But no, haven't done Halloween decorations. Can't wait for the day that I can do Halloween decorations. Deep. Hey, Steph. Really nice to see you live. This is my first time here. I'm coming from Daisy and fell in love with you and your movie reactions. You seem like a great person. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome to the community. We're very happy to have you. You can join our Discord, chat in there often, live every Sunday, 5 p.m. PT. This week I've just been going live Tuesday and Thursday because I took a week off of editing and uploading. But I'll probably be back next week if or I'll be going live again. Oh shit, that reminds me, Has Been season 2 came out, right? Yes, apparently it did. I have to get to the Rihanna, my sister just filled me in on the Glorilla tea today. Shortly after their song together, she reposted something on IG with Tori's music on it specifically, and then has like tweets shading Megan. No, no, don't tell me this. No, you know how I feel about people who go to Team Tori. No, I'm looking this up. I'm so upset. Oh my god, no. She set the record straight on the confusion. I can't read this right now. I can't. This is like I love Glorilla. This is very upsetting, but I also will cut her off if this is the case. I don't need her to be friends with Megan, but to support Tori is like no, I'm not doing it. God, I can't, Rihanna. Oh god. Recently someone caught her in a trap where they made a fake tweet saying Megan's mad because Glorilla's better rapper than her and Glorilla liked it. And the person screenshotted it and exposed her. Why would she do that? She's not a better rapper than her. They're both good. They're completely different. Why is this happening? Remember the era when like WAP came out and then there was like 5 years of peace between women in rap, minus Nicki? And then what happened? Why is this happening? I can't. I like, felt so good about all the rap girlies liking each other. What is this? Ugh. I feel like Glorilla doesn't have a lot, maybe any female friends in the industry for a reason. Ugh. She's friends with Cardi because they're cousins, but uh Emmanuel, wanted to ask Steph, are you reading any books? I'm in the middle of The Man in the High Castle. I'm well read due to my creative writing major, barely useful. Okay, so I'm like so embarrassed to say that I'm still getting through the second Sarah J. Maas book. I had to take a break because I haven't been feeling good, as I said, and reading's been kind of making me it's like been hard to read, honestly. So I just haven't gone in my full on reading modes, but I'm hoping that I'm starting to feel better, that I can just start dedicating like my free time on my weekends to reading again. And then I'm probably there's one book that I've been dying to read. I'm staring at it right now. It's called The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've been excuse me. I've been wanting to read that for a while, so I'll probably get to that one after. I hear Robin Hobb is like an incredible author, so I've been very excited to get to some of the books. What are so you're reading The Man in the High Castle? Do That's really great that you're well read. I think that's like one of the best attributes ever. You're definitely gonna find a girl. Girls love men who read. Don't you worry. And you guys said this is one of Roxy's streams. I feel like I got the best of both worlds with being in a relationship, but role playing being single because girly works 80 plus hours a week, 3 weeks a month. Um, yeah, yeah. You have especially for you, Ash, who I feel like really likes your alone time and like getting to do what you love. I think it's like you guys have the perfect relationship, honestly. That's why when like you joked about her leaving you, I was like, no, it's not possible. I think you guys have like such an amazing relationship from what I know about it. My major is also barely useful. That's hysterical. I know so many things in college. It's like Uma Thurman looks amazing as Poison Ivy. Totally. Such a hottie. Yes, Joseph, Discord's free. My Discord's free. I'm definitely just like, especially with you guys who are here with me in the beginning of my channel, I'm always going to try to prioritize this core group that's been with me. Obviously, in the future, I might like, have Patreon and like other charges, but I'm going to try to like always kind of keep that like in touch with this core group that was here with me in the beginning because I really appreciate it and I really love you guys. So yes, the Discord's free. Go join it. It's on and poppin'. Do you watch Harley Quinn? Yes, I'm not totally caught up and I love every other episode that I watch. It's just one of those ones that I don't always watch like on time. I don't know how much of a TV show person you are, but the Simpsons Halloween episodes are such a vibe. They get it. I watch them every year. Check them out if you haven't. I'll check out this Gears ones, and then I'm gonna watch the South Park one. I think it came out last night, so tonight I'll watch it. I say barely because it helped me when I was working with the entertainment industry when I first moved to LA, but now that I'm back home in Houston, not so much. Yeah, but it'll come back. Everything comes back. Immigration, legal and illegal, is about cheap labor. Melting pot is a cover. Um, Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. When I was a kid and I heard about the melting pot, I thought that was so amazing, especially as a family who's had immigrants who have come to America. It's like that, whether or not that was fake or not, and under the guise of some greater master plan, But as a child, like, looking at it through a child's view, and that's how I learned about America, I was like, "Wow, that's amazing," and then kind of getting older and realizing about, cheap labor and also kind of just poor practices in general. It's yeah, definitely needs reform. The first 2 seasons of Harley Quinn is My Religion, so good. Okay, Supermassive Black Hole, amazing. Luke James, "Hey, Steph, hope you're good. Great show with Christian today." Thank you. Thanks for being here. Alright, guys, it's been real. Good night. Thank you. Good night, guys. I'm getting out of here soon. Awesome. I'm just running through these. Right, a new guy. No one should be. It's crazy. Bugonia is a great movie indeed. Oh, I can't wait to watch it. Okay, Abdil just saw it. Just came back from watching Begonia. My God, what a movie. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, where does it rank with Poor Things? Better? Same? Worse? Like what? I'm so excited. Mike Joyce has been a G in adding the link, so join us. Okay. A book I suggest is America's Secret Establishment, Introduction to the Order of Skull and Bones by Anthony Sutton. Okay, thank you. I love a book suggestion. I saw Deep Blue? Blue? I saw it in your latest video vlog, and I think you mentioned you were writing a script. Can you talk more about that? That's so interesting. I'm writing one with Roxy Stryer, and if you don't know her, but most people know us together separately through the World Girls or just as friends. And we are writing, I don't know how much we've talked about it, but it's like a buddy comedy true crime, kind of like a whodunit with two best friends. And then I'm working on an as my, like, long personal project that I just have taken so many breaks from, but I'm trying to get done, is an animated script, actually, and it's kind of, I don't wanna talk too much about it because I don't have, like it's, like, more the beginning of it, but, yeah, with Roxy, I need to ask her what I forget what we've actually talked about it with that. That one I'm really excited about. That one will definitely be done first, and we're, like, hopefully gonna be done by the end of the year and kinda moving forward with it. But thank you. Uh, Fun fact, my nana was born in 1940, my great niece was born in 2021. There are 5 generations of my family. That's amazing. When you said Sarah J. Maas, are you reading A Kotar or Throne of Glass? Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass series. I'm on the Assassin one, which I think is the 2nd or 3rd. Red carpet talk. My Yorgos ranking is Begonia or The Favorite at the top, then The Lobster and the Killing of Secret Deer, then Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness at the bottom. Okay, so Begonia, I love The Favorite. The Favorite was so fun and fucking weird. Begonia. Okay, so Begonia's up there. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I need to rewatch The Lobster. I remember watching it before I got super into film, and I was just like, I don't love this. But so many of my friends who I have similar taste with really love it. So I need to rewatch it. But I love other Yorgos stuff, so I'm like, maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset. I actually haven't seen Poor Things, but in comparison to Yorgos' previous films like The Lobster and The Favorite, in my opinion, it's up there with those films. Okay, cool. That's cool. You should see Poor Things. It's awesome. I loved Poor Things. Luke James, let me know if you need voice actors. I'm an actor based in England and trying to break into voice acting. Okay, that's awesome. Deep Blue. Yeah, it's pronounced Deep Blue. The V is for aesthetic purposes, huh? Just music copy on the side. Oh, I love that. Aesthetic is everything. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you guys for hanging out with me. You've been absolutely awesome. I feel like we've ridden the wave of so many different conversations today and topics. It's amazing. I'll be back on Sunday but I'll be in the Discord for the new people who are joining our Discord. Hello, I'll be in there to greet you. And thanks, Mike Joyce, again for sending in that link in the chat. Until then, I hope something great happens to you. Happy Halloween. Have an awesome tomorrow. Eat some of your favorite candy and be nice to people. Okay, love you. Bye.